So another new addition to Wonderland this year has been to the Kingswood Music Theatre. Now, besides the fact that this seems to be the designated smoking area for legal smoking products in Canada, as it's a little bit tucked away, just behind me here is what is this new building that they are now featuring just to the left of the theater. Now I actually haven't seen New Order here, but I've seen Public Enemy, Tribe Called Quest, I've seen the Fugees here, I've seen Sisters of Mercy, I've seen Gang of Four, other cool bands that I can't now remember, but to be honest, this is a pretty cheap edition. This looks like something that I would see up in Muskoka, just north of here, that would be put up in 2 weeks. So yeah, kind of a little budget edition here for Wonderland. Not going to spend too much time on that. Kind of disappointing to me too, because Time Warp is right over here, and I would love it if they would just level this entire area, and even Kingswood for that matter, and build something significant on this side. Maybe update their wooden palette, tear down Mindbuster, which they've destroyed, put a decent wood coaster on top of this location. Also get rid of Flight Deck as well. Just get rid of this whole area. Nobody ever really comes to this area of the park, I've noticed. Really, it's kind of a little bit vacant. Most of the rides that are actually open right now are on a wait. Time Warp is not, for obvious reasons. So yeah, I don't know. I think this area needs to go back to what it originally was. The Zumba Flume, my poor beloved Zumba Flume, was still here. I'm sure it would be getting a draw. Not on a day like today, but I'm sure that it would be getting a little bit more traffic than, say, these rides are now in this day and age. Alright, well, despite it all, I just did a ride on Flight Deck, because I didn't really do it last year. Wanted to see how it was running this year. It's not so bad, no real updates to really provide today. I'd say headbanging amount, we're talking maybe between a 3 and a 4 out of 5 on the scale of headbanging. So not so bad, all things considered. But I really do think and hope this ride has a limited time left here at Wonderland. I've now done my full circle of the park. I don't have too much battery power because, as I said, I didn't really plan on vlogging, but now we're kind of getting to the point of summing it up, because I'm gonna try to get a night ride on Leviathan, which oddly I've never had before, and then I'm also going to check out a couple of re-rides, maybe a ride on Mindbuster. I'm not gonna get on Yukon Striker today. I'll be realistic about it. There's no way. They're running like a car every 15 minutes, so I don't think they're really ready. They shouldn't have said on their website that you'd have a chance to ride it today, because realistically, they're probably cutting the line off right now, and most of the people in this park that came here to ride it today will leave disappointed. Not me. I kind of was anticipating that I wouldn't get it in today anyway. So moving on from that. I also just realized that I've never, in the over hundreds of times that I've been to this park, I've never been here in April, ever. This is the first time. And last year, I'd never actually been here in October. I'd never gone to Halloween Haunt before. So 2 months of which I've never visited this park before, and a third is probably going to come up, or maybe 2 more in November and December of this year with the Winterfest as well. So exciting time. Also to note, I'm going back into Medieval Fair. I love the name changes on the signs back to the original names, including this little structure here, the Canterbury Theatre. They also, I've got my French vanilla rocket, because it's raining again, a little cold, but I'm starting to lose my breath because my cardio is not up to my Asia trip level. Tundra, a show that starts here on June 28th, which also these people are noticing. So it looks like we have a Cirque du Soleil show coming to Wonderland, which is kind of cool, because I remember being in this theater back in the day, and they had some really cool laser shows and some immersive, sort of quick hit type of Showtime experiences that were really kind of unique. It would be nice if they got back to that, because they obviously had the facility for it, and they really should take advantage of it if they can. All right, so we're back into what I consider my favorite section of the park. I'm gonna get a ride on another classic, Dragonfire. Just bang out a lot of these cool rides that I've loved over the years. Dragonfire, spelt with an I, which is a little disappointing. But other than that, yeah, let's do some retro. So it's going to get a little darker, and the high graininess of my iPhone recording is going to annoy me. I said I'd give a little bit of an impression on Leviathan. I just had my dusk ride because there's a beautiful sunset going on here. I kind of recorded a little bit of a blurb about that I lost, unfortunately. But Leviathan, I wanted to mention because I had ridden Fury 325 last October for my first time. It was my favorite roller coaster to this date. I will concede it still is. Leviathan's a great coaster. It revolutionized what this park is for Canada in a global scale. A lot of people like Behemoth more. It is a solid coaster. It's probably tied with me with Leviathan for best coaster in this park. But that being said, it's just not comparable to Fury. Two great airtime hills that seem to last forever on Leviathan. A great head chopper on the speed airtime hill just after the first turnaround. And also, obviously, a great drop. Cool with the eyes on the tunnel as you're coming in as well, going into the mouth of the beast. But it just doesn't have that full unrelenting speed that Fury has. So it's just unfortunately not comparable to that ride. Maybe if they added 20 feet, we'd have a bit of a contest. And it's also the disappointment. It's still a long ride and almost as long as Fury, but oddly just has that weird thing about it ending so early. It just doesn't make sense. One final helix or something like Fury had, or does have, would be a nice addition. Just to sort of flesh out the entire course of that ride and maybe even separate it a bit from Behemoth, because it just seems like it was an odd choice for that ride to be built here, to be honest. But Cedar Fair seems to have their blueprint and they're going with it. Okay, gotta move on. Getting out of breath as I normally do. The lines are actually a bit long, so I don't know whether or not I'm gonna actually spend that much time at the park. I might do another night ride on Leviathan, try to get on Behemoth if I can. And obviously Yukon Striker's not happening today. I'm about to head over there to update on it, but I do not hold much hope for that ride right now. Okay, so I'm kind of back where I started in the middle of the day. There's another hour left in park operations, but it's a good example that we have Cliffhanger behind us here. So there are a good amount of flat rides that are either not ready for service or just not operating. There are people that are manning this ride, but it hasn't been in operation all day. So what is happening is you have attractions like Behemoth that are running behind me now on a 45-minute to an hour wait. For 5 hours in this park, or less than that, 4 hours, that's a little too much, I'm afraid. If you're going to commit your time to come down here for 4 hours and then find that you have about 15 attractions that you could actually get on. Haven't even mentioned right behind me Yukon Striker, of course. I'm assuming, I didn't even look to ask, but the line has been cut off because the line is about the same size as when I left it at 2 hours, and it's still not getting through people. If I was to join that line, I'd probably be here till midnight just getting on it. So I'm perfectly fine with waiting 2 weeks and coming at 10 a.m. on a weekday and riding it first thing in the morning. So that's what's going to happen there. I'm going to do another ride on Leviathan at night, maybe another wildebeest ride if it's not crazy over there, and wrap up my day. So overall, pretty decent experience for my first ever season pass preview. Wish the ride operations were up to snuff. Food and bev, a little bit underwhelming right now because there are some lines, but a lot of things aren't open. But it looks like I found something here, an international festival, which I said before is never really populated. There is a place, Chicken Shack, that looks like I can get something pretty quick. So yeah, sometimes it's all about just efficient service and getting through the lines at a decent rate. But yeah, I'm gonna just wrap it up and say, if I can get some good light on me, that while this event is definitely a good incentive for season pass holders, if you're gonna have a new roller coaster that you're gonna advertise as opening on the day of, you better sure as hell make sure it's ready, because some of us are gonna leave thinking, hey, came all this way and I didn't get on the ride that I meant to get on today. So I'm gonna have to save my opinion about Yukon Striker for another day. That's fine for me. For people that come farther away, I'm not so sure how okay that is. It's not exactly warm here, so waiting out in the cold for 2 to 3 hours for this ride, I'm not sure if that's really a Wonderland experience that they want to brag about. So I'm gonna wrap it up here and have a couple more rides and some smaller attractions that we can actually get on before the day is through. So wrapping it up, here we go, Canada's Wonderland 2019. We'll see you, hopefully with a review of Yukon Striker very soon.